Hello and a very good evening. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. This is Verdict 2015. Let's begin with today's Verdict headlines. RJD Chief Lalu Prasad declares that he will not campaign with Congress President Sonia Gandhi during the assembly elections, says they will go their own separate ways. BJP President Amit Shah addresses rally in Bihar's Sopol, lashes out at JDU and RJD, appeals to voters to give his party one chance to prove what it can do for the people of the state. BJP MP RK Singh sticks to his claims, tells RSTV that he is an honest man who speaks up about any wrongdoing. And in the spotlight today is Bhagalpur, one of the oldest towns in the state, is grappling with lack of basic amenities. Well, a lot is being said about the apparent discord within the Grand Alliance in Bihar. However, both party leaders have cleared the air and said that all is well within the Grand Alliance, and the issue has been raised by the opposition parties in order to divert attention from the real focus areas. Here's a report. Lalu Prasad Yadav, who had skipped Rahul Gandhi's first election rally in Bihar last month, said that he will not campaign alongside Congress President Sonia Gandhi for the Bihar elections. Lalu Yadav had shared the stage with Sonia at a mega rally in Patna last month, but he is reportedly upset at the prominence the ally has bestowed upon Nitish Kumar.
गठबंधन में सब ठीक है। तीनों दलों के नेता और कार्यकर्ता मिलकर काम कर रहे हैं। ये संघ परिवार का नया शगुफा है।
इसके उसकी दूरी है, इससे उसकी दूरी है। साहब, हमारी दूरी आपको चुनाव की मतगणना के दिन पता चल जाएगा। हर चुनाव का एक मिजाज होता है और हम उस मिजाज से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, और उस मिजाज को आप नहीं समझ पाएंगे कि हम आपको जहां दूरी दिख रही है वहां निकटता है।
The alliance has said that its strategy is for top leaders to campaign separately in Bihar to cover more ground.
उनकी अपनी पब्लिक मीटिंग्स हैं, हमारी अपनी पब्लिक मीटिंग्स हैं, और एक मीटिंग जो शुरू में हुई थी उसमें सोनिया जी ने, लालू जी ने, नीतीश जी ने, सब ने मिल के एक साथ पब्लिक को एड्रेस किया था। लेकिन ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हर पब्लिक मीटिंग के अंदर सारे नेता एक साथ हों।
There seems to be some discord in the Grand Alliance, but for now the leaders are trying to put on a united front. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Joining me for a chat right now is senior journalist Nikhil Anand from Bihar. Nikhil Anand, thank you for joining me on the program. You know, as far as the Grand Alliance is concerned, there seems to be some kind of a discord, but the leaders have now come up and put up a united front. But is this discord really going to hurt the alliance?
Yeah, you are right that in the Grand Alliance all is not well. But I see that there is a two part of it, the whole thing. JDU is having a very good rapport with the Congress, but there is little apprehension kind of thing is visible between the RJD and the Congress. And we see that all the party leaders, key leaders are campaigning on their own, alone. And one side that RJD has defended this campaigning alone funda, but other side while releasing the list of candidates, Nitish Kumar said that we don't want to lose our chances to campaign in maximum areas. That's why we are campaigning alone, and we won't be sharing the dais with each other, so that we have to campaign on lesser number of seats and lesser rallies. So they are planning to campaign alone and cover maximum areas. And it is heard that they are campaigning. There are 400 rallies between Lalu and Nitish are planned, and JDU and RJD is putting a brave front to present a consolidated face of their Gathbandhan, Mahagathbandhan. Yeah.
Are there any problems that you foresee in the near future as far as this Mahagathbandhan is concerned? Because already there is a little bit of bickering.
Yeah, it is. There is no bickering at a larger level among the leaders, but at a ground level, there is a little contradiction and apprehension visible in uniting the cadres and their workers. because you know last time RJD and JDU contested on many seats against each other, and when they shared the seat, most of the RJD candidates and JDU candidates who lost the election by merely 4,000 votes, 5,000 votes, and 400 to 7,000 vote difference, they are uh, uh, there is a question mark for them, the losing candidate, to campaign for the party united force.
Indeed.
So there is a big question for the leaders to give a clear message to the cadres and workers to unite and put a consolidated face. Yeah.
All right. Nikhil Anand, stay with us. I'm going to come back to you later on in the program for a comment on something else that we're tracking here on Varrick 2015 as well. Meanwhile, our correspondent Neelu Vyas Thomas spoke with former bureaucrat and BJP MP from Ara, R.K. Singh, about the controversial seat distribution issue. R.K. Singh had alleged last month that the party was distributing tickets to criminals in Bihar. Here's more.
Mr. Singh, recently you had levelled allegations regarding the ticket distribution as far as the state BJP leadership is concerned. Why did you say so?
It is a statement of fact, and it is something which I do not agree with, so I had said so.
But you did not name those musclemen, you didn't name the criminals.
No, not so. I gave some examples, and I don't really have to sort of give examples, because everybody in Bihar knows. You take the list of candidates, and you ask anybody from Bihar, they'll tell you as to who the criminals are.
When you had come out with a statement like this, the central leadership said that you're very new to politics and you need to learn the ways of politics.
It's not a question of being new or old. I mean, even if people, the common man who is not in politics, the common man also feels this way.
You are trying to target the Deputy CM Sushil Kumar Modi. There is a
anybody. I'm only expressing a view which has been, which is held by all the common workers of the BJP. My request to you is, take out a list of the candidates, right? Not only BJP, take out a list of the candidates of other parties as well, and ask anybody as to who the criminals are. It's a question of fact. The second fact which I said was that it's not a question of R.K. Singh. You find out, right? You go around Bihar and you find out how many BJP workers have submitted their resignations, how many BJP officers remained locked up even today, whether there was ruckus, etc. in BJP office or not. And then you will come to know it's not a question of R.K. Singh.
Central leadership tries to distance themselves from your comments, and they'll obviously say that it was a ploy by you to place your candidates in the list. Would you really agree with what the central leaders are saying?
That is utter nonsense. My only request, my bottom line to the leadership was that whosoever you sort of give tickets to, he should be a common worker, a worker of the BJP, and he should not have a criminal background.
That the party would have taken action against you, but because you represent the Rajput community, which constitutes about 5 to 6%, it's a crucial time for BJP as well. So they will probably not take any action until the time the election is over. How would you really respond?
Whether they take action or not is for them.
Do you have an uneasy relationship between you and the central leaders at the moment?
Again, you are deviating from the point. It's not a question of my relationship. Okay. It's a question of the point which I have raised.
There were other events when BJP was trying to defend Sushma Swaraj and Vasundhara Raje. You even came out saying that Lalit Modi is a fugitive and, defending him is morally wrong. So that was another moment where you embarrassed the BJP.
Even if something wrong is happening in that organization, one should keep quiet. Now that's not how I look at things. Whenever something I see has been wrong, I have spoken out against it, I have acted against it, and that is how I have been, and that is how I will continue to be. When somebody or some people in any organization do something wrong, and the other persons in that organization keep quiet, then everybody becomes complicit in that wrong action.
Are you working towards the victory of BJP? One last question I'm asking.
I will be working for the victory of all the clean people from BJP who are fighting elections.
On that note, it's time to slip into a short break now, but still to come, BJP leaders tell Rajya Sabha television why the party has not named a chief ministerial candidate for Bihar and what the party's strategy is. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, BJP President Amit Shah addressed voters in Supaul district of Bihar today, claiming that successive governments of the RJD and the JDU had pushed Bihar into backwardness. He appealed for one chance for the BJP-led coalition to rule the state. He promised that the BJP will make it the #1 state in the country. Here's more.
A no-holds-barred attack. The BJP president unleashing an entire arsenal of allegations against the Bihar chief minister.
2013 में आपके मन में एक महत्वाकांक्षा थी कि नीतीश कुमार जी को भारत का प्रधानमंत्री बनना है और आपने प्रधानमंत्री बनने की महत्वाकांक्षा के कारण जदयू भाजपा की सरकार को तोड़ दिया.
Shah claimed that Nitish abandoned the anti-Congress plank of socialist leaders like Ram Manohar Lohia and Jayaprakash Narayan to stay on in power.
जो बिहार की जनता का न हुआ, जो जेपी और लोहिया के सिद्धांतों के साथ लगा किया, जिन्होंने जीतन राम मांझी को छोड़ दिया, जिन्होंने जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस को छोड़ दिया, जिन्होंने सत्ता पाने के लिए कांग्रेस का साथ ले दिया, ये लालू और नीतीश बिहार का विकास कर सकते हैं क्या बताइए.
According to the BJP president, Nitish Kumar betrayed the decisive mandate in the 2010 assembly polls and backstabbed the electorate by going back to join hands with RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad, who was rejected in successive assembly polls.
बिहार की जनता ने 50 साल तक मौका दिया है कांग्रेस पार्टी को, 15 साल तक मौका दिया है लालू प्रसाद यादव को और 10 साल तक मौका दिया है नीतीश कुमार को. बिहार का भला किसी ने नहीं किया. एक 5 साल आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मौका दे, हम बिहार को देश का नंबर 1 राज्य बनाकर छोड़ेंगे.
Making a firm commitment for the development of Bihar, Shah said the NDA government will do everything for Bihar's development so that people did not have to migrate for work. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's now go across to Nikhil Anand, who's a senior journalist who's still joined us from Bihar right now. Well, Nikhil, you know, the BJP has time and again maintained that under the leadership of Nitish Kumar, the state of Bihar has only regressed. But what is the general feeling on the ground? What does the common man and what do the voters really think of Nitish Kumar and his rule?
BJP is basically treading very cautiously in this election, and I see after the election rally in Banka by Prime Minister, I see that they are very cautious in terms of making a slant and attacking the leaders of Mahagathbandhan. Recently, till date, Lalu Yadav was simply on target of the BJP leaders, and now I see that the strategy has shifted and Nitish is more on attack. Because Lalu Yadav has trapped himself in a beef controversy, and he was simply must be realizing his fault. And as Owaisi is entering into the scene, the election is being polarized, going to be polarized from the strategic shift is from caste to communal polarization will slowly start taking place. On the ground, I see in last 10 years that Nitish Kumar has worked, especially focused, just to scuttle the might of Lalu Prasad Yadav, my combination, the strong Yadav community taking over the political scene in OBC, just to contradict Lalu Prasad Yadav might. Nitish started a strategy of giving a space to EBC community as well as the Dalits, Mahadalit. Basically, Nitish Kumar gave reservation to EBC community in 3-tier panchayati system, 20% reservation, as well as he also focused on women by giving 50% reservation to women in panchayati system, 3-tier panchayati system, as well as the scholarship, the cycle, as well as the dress gift to all the students, girl students especially. That has worked wonder in the last election.
Right.
In 2010. Nitish Kumar was voted by these communities so well, but I see that after Narendra Modi coming into the scene, basically when it was propagated by BJP that Narendra Modi belongs to EBC community, EBCs largely voted for Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha election, and this time there is a big conflict going to be among the EBCs as where to vote, whom to vote, because now EBCs aspirations are shifting from panchayats to they want to enter into the assemblies and Lok Sabha. So how the votes are being divided among the BJP and the Mahagathbandhan, it is going to be seen. And with the help of Ram Vilas Paswan and Jitan Ram Manjhi, Mahadalit votes are on big target of BJP, and largely I see that large chunk of votes from Dalit community is going to be shifted to BJP. And this way there is a interesting conflict because 3 communities votes are being easily visible as upper caste are voting for, especially particularly for BJP. The Yadavs and Muslims are largely following the Mahagathbandhan, as well as the OBC community, Kushwaha community is largely with the NDA. But these 2 communities like EBCs and Dalits, they are going to be a decisive vote bank for any party to win the election. But 2 things are here.
It remains to be seen, of course, how the voting goes and what really happens as far as these polls are concerned. Very interesting analysis there, Nikhil Anand, but we are completely out of time, so we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us. Moving on now, the BJP Shahnawaz Hussain faces questions on the chief ministerial candidate of the party in Bihar. Here's what he told our correspondent Amrita Rai. Let's listen in.
आप ही के पार्टी के कई बड़े नेता जो हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि ये नहीं, ये मुख्यमंत्री होगा, दलित मुख्यमंत्री होगा, ओबीसी मुख्यमंत्री होगा, सवर्ण मुख्यमंत्री नहीं हो सकता है। इस पर क्या कहना है आपका?
पार्टी में कई लोगों की राय है कि इनको होना चाहिए, इनको नहीं होना चाहिए, अगड़ा हो कि पिछड़ा हो, लेकिन हमारे नेता नरेंद्र मोदी जो चश्मा पहनते हैं उससे उनको हर हिंदुस्तानी एक जैसा दिखता है। उनको कोई जात, मजहब, धर्म के चश्मे से वो नहीं देखते हैं।
जो गिरिराज सिंह ने बयान दिया या और लोगों ने बयान दिया उसको खारिज कर रहे हैं कि अब अभी दलित या ओबीसी या किसी और पिछड़े जाति के नेता को मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाएगा, इस तरह की कोई संभावना नहीं है।
अभी पार्टी ने साफ तौर पे कहा है, यही बात हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने कहा, यही बात हमारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने यहाँ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कहा, पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड तय करेगा कौन होगा बिहार का मुख्यमंत्री। लेकिन ये बात तय है, जिस तरह सूरज का उगना तय है उसी तरह भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कमल खिलना बिहार में तय है।
कौन सा ऐसा मुद्दा होगा या कौन सी ऐसी ताकत होगी जो बिहार की जनता को आपकी तरफ खींच कर ले आएगी? क्या मोदी जी के चेहरे के आधार पर बिहार में चुनाव होगा तो बिहार का चेहरा कौन होगा इसकी कोई स्पष्टता नहीं होगी तो लोग वोट दे देंगे आपको?
बताएंगे ना लोगों को विश्वास है मोदी जी के चेहरे पर। तो हमारे विरोधियों को इससे कोई जलन होने की जरूरत नहीं है। मोदी जी का चेहरा अगर बिहार की जनता को पसंद है, यकीन है, विश्वास है, तो उनको मोदी जी के चेहरे पर ही लोग वोट दे रहे हैं, मोदी जी के यकीन पर, उनके काम पर वोट दे रहे हैं। और जब पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड तय करेगा बाद में, हमने पहले तय कर लिया है।
Well, you can watch the entire interview with the BJP Shahnawaz Hussain at 10:30 p.m. tonight right here on Rajya Sabha television. Meanwhile, of course, RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad's eldest son Tej Pratap filed his nomination papers today. He will be contesting from the Mahua constituency in Bihar's Vaishali district. Tej Pratap was accompanied by his father and a huge crowd of supporters during the filing of nomination. The Yadav-dominated assembly constituency goes to polls in the third phase on October 28th. Tej Pratap's key fight will be against sitting MLA Ravindra Rai, who recently joined the Jitan Ram Manjhi HAMS after being denied a ticket by his former party, the JDU.
आप देख रहे हैं किस तरीके से लोगों में उत्साह है। केवल महुआ ही नहीं, राघोपुर में भी और पूरे जिला में भी पूरे उत्साह है लोगों में महागठबंधन को लेकर के। और जिस तरीके से नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जो छलावा किया है बिहार की जनता के साथ, खासकर और पूरे देश की जनता के साथ, सारी जनता जान चुकी है उनके राज को।
Moving on, now Bhagalpur in East Bihar is one of the oldest towns of the state, but local residents are still grappling with the lack of basic facilities like better roads and cleanliness. Our correspondent Vishal Dahiya brings you this ground report from the district.
A medical college named after India's first Prime Minister, a state university. Institutions that might give an impression that Bhagalpur district is well placed in the fields of health and education, at least compared to its neighbours. But people here would disagree.
तो शिक्षा व्यवस्था को थोड़ा बदहाली को उसको सुधारना चाहिए और उसमें निरंतरता, तत्परता और सटीकता लाना चाहिए कि काम फटाफट हो सके।
हमारे जो यूनिवर्सिटी में है वो शिक्षकों की बहुत ज़्यादा ही कमी है, तो इस कमी को दूर किया जाए और मतलब हम लोगों को अच्छे से अच्छे बुक्स अवेलेबल हों और जो हमारे डिपार्टमेंट की बुनियादी ज़रूरतें हैं उनको पूरा किया जाए।
हॉस्पिटल में न तो समय पर डॉक्टर मिलते हैं, न अच्छा से दवाई मिलता है, कब आया कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है, वहाँ बहुत गड़बड़ है हॉस्पिटल का। स्वास्थ्य विभाग जो है सही ढंग से काम नहीं कर रहा है, न तो वहाँ हॉस्पिटल में अच्छा से भोजन मिलता है, न वहाँ देख रेख है। रोज़ जो है सो जूनियर डॉक्टर, सीनियर डॉक्टर सब जो है सो पेशेंट में मारे पीट होता है।
भागलपुर में जो नीतीश कुमार जी जो बिहार के जो शासन चला रहे हैं वो तो काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन भागलपुर की धरती पर स्वास्थ्य विभाग बिल्कुल लाचार हो गया है। यहाँ अस्पताल में आए दिन मारपीट, रोगियों से दुर्व्यवहार, समय पर दवा नहीं मिलना, कोई तरह का कुछ नहीं है।
That's not all. For more than a decade, Bhagalpur residents have been complaining about the condition of their roads and never-ending traffic jams.
No proper management of traffic, encroachment on roads and no bypass for heavy vehicles. This may sound like usual issues for any city, but the people of Bhagalpur have been forced to deal with this mess on a daily basis. And this has been going on for years now with no solution in sight, despite the promises made by political parties in every election season.
For Bhagalpur residents, travelling on roads is an ordeal which they say they would rather avoid.
रोड जाम रहता है, बराबर दिन भर जाम रहता है, मतलब जगह जगह पर नो नाला है, नो पानी। नाला जब बारिश पड़ता है तो पूरा लोहा पट्टी लेकर से ठौना भर पानी चलता है, मतलब रोड पूरी तरह से जाम होता है कि जो अभी जो कोई पैसेंजर जो अगर जो बीमार पड़ जाए तो हॉस्पिटल जाने के रास्ते में दम टूट जाएगा। उसको
पुल जाम रहता है, सिर्फ ट्रैफिक की वजह से पैसा ले लेगा, पूरा पुल को जाम करे रहता है। केले वाला है, सेब वाला है, अब तो सब्जी की दुकान लगी वहाँ।
सबसे बड़ा समस्या टाउन का जाम, आए दिन पब्लिक परेशान और जो ट्रैफिक व्यवस्था का बेहाल, इससे निजात दिलवाइए। जो भी नेता आवे इससे निजात दिलवाइए, टाउन को साफ सुथरा करवाइए और जाम से निजात दिलवाइए।
But these irritants that highlight a lack of development may not have much impact on the elections.
तो मुद्दों का अभाव यहाँ नहीं है, मुद्दे हैं, लेकिन वे मुद्दे निर्वाचक को प्रभावित करने वाले मुद्दे नहीं हैं। वे मुद्दे चर्चा के लिए हैं, बौद्धिक विश्लेषण के लिए हैं। मतदाता उससे प्रभावित होकर उसको प्रभावकारी बनावे, राजनीति पर उन मुद्दों के प्रभाव को स्थापित करें, ऐसा आज तक किसी निर्वाचन में यहाँ नहीं।
7 seats of Bhagalpur district go to polls in the first phase on 12th of October. In 2010, the JDU and the BJP won 3 seats each. The Congress bagged 1 seat and snatched one more from the BJP in 2014 by poll. With camera person Prashanta, Vishal Daya's report from Bhagalpur for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of Verdict 2015. Have a good evening.